Hello, Mr. Swinger One here. So we are checking ring gaps today. What I want to do, I want to get this crank installed and get the pistons and rings. I want to get the short block assembled. Um, so I went to the Hastings website and it said there 3 thousandths of an inch per inch of bore. This is a 4.04 bore when it was new. So this engine's been ran, so it's got some slight wear, but not enough where there was a ridge. So no ridge reamer was needed. I just honed it. Um, I'm taking the ring from each piston and checking it to the bore it's going into. Um, so cylinder one is 34 thousandths of an inch. That's the ring gap. Cylinder three is 31 thousandths. Cylinder five is 28 thousandths. Cylinder seven is 32 thousandths. Cylinder two is 29 thousandths. Cylinder four is 30. Cylinder six is 29, and cylinder eight is 35 thousandths. So going by the Hastings 3 inches or 0.003 per inch of bore. So a tight gap would be 12 thousandths. But it also said it's 0.003 per inch, not to exceed 0.012. So I'm interpreting that as the tightest it could be is 12 thousandths. The widest the gap could be is 48 thousandths. So I'm falling beneath 48 thousandths with these ring gaps. So I'm going to go for it and assemble it, and feel fairly confident that this engine shouldn't burn oil and it should work. It'd be just like a re-ring. And that's what we're going to go with. So, because I want to install these stock style 340 pistons. This isn't the one I'm using, but this is a stock 340 piston that came from this engine. I had gotten some different stock used 340 pistons that are in a little better shape. And I'm going to assemble it with that. I do have a Summit cam that I picked up for this, but I'm thinking about going with a regrind of the 68 340 manual transmission cam. More on that to come. All right, so we're looking at the bottom end here. So we're going to look. I wanted to point out this is why you do mock-up. So right now this engine's in a state of mock-up. So I'm doing mock-up. So I want to find out if I have all the bolts, what do I need? So I know I need a fuel pump eccentric. If you look here, I got 1, 2, 3 of the windage bolts, but I got a regular one there. So I need to get another windage tray bolt. Plus I need the little bolts to secure the windage tray to the main cap bolts. So this is why we do mock-up. I might have the stuff laying around somewhere. I don't know. If not, I will just obtain it, either new or used off the internet. But yeah, this is why we do mock-up. As you can see, my mains are. I got a little bit of a surface rust problem, which let this thing sit. I'm gonna have to go back over more cleaning, polishing, rust prep. But yeah, we'll get this thing mocked up. I do have a new Summit oil pan that I picked up. Not a bad deal. I'm hearing on the internet people say that the steering linkage don't fit and you got to beat it with a hammer. We won't know until we actually get to that point. But for right now, for the money, that was our oil pan. I don't think that cost $100. It might have been 70 something shipped. I don't even remember. But I like it, and I hope it works out when I drop the engine in the car. I had to buy the oil pan bolts. We're going to get them in there. Those were used. I just bought, some guy sent me a pack of bolts for whatever he sold them to me for. I'll bet you $12, $20. Who knows? Till they get shipped, it might be 20 some dollars. But apparently it's all the bolts plus the bigger bolts that go into the timing cover. I gotta go into my parts stash, find a timing cover. So anybody who was following along, this whole build has been, for me, it's just been scrounging up parts. And that may be part of why it's taken so long, but not the total reason. But as you can see, it's getting there. And I'm going to get these oil pan bolts in. We'll spin this thing back around right side up, and we'll take a look at the mocked up 340. All right, so there's our mock-up. And like I said before, we are just putting stuff together, making sure we have all the bolts. I'm sure you noticed I got chrome valve covers instead of those aluminum metal blocks from the other video. Things are evolving and things are materializing. What are we missing here? How about we set a 600 Holley on there just for the fun of it? There we go. I won't run that though. I'll run a 750 Edelbrock. Or, well, who knows? Maybe a 750 Holley. But yeah, we're collecting parts, getting things together. I did find a set of 202J heads. I got to get into them. They need to be taken apart, cleaned up, going over. At the very least, hand lap the valves, put the new valve guide seals in, or maybe they'll get sent out. I think I want to send these heads out that's on the engine. There's a machine shop really close to my house, and I'd rather get this stuff done before I retire, and then I don't have money to do this stuff anymore. So at least if I have the heads done now, 10 years from now, they'll be sitting around ready to go, whatever. Better to have this stuff ready to go than sitting around covered in rust. But yeah, we're getting back into it, so stay tuned. The goal this winter is to get the short block assembled. Don't mind all the clutter sitting around. I was just looking around saying I need another shed. At least get the snowblower out of here and all the rest of the non-essential equipment. But yeah, that's it. That's our 340 build mock-up. We are getting back into it. Like I said, short block this winter. Go over the J heads. I did pick up a Summit cam, but I'm looking to get in a reground 68 340 manual trans cam. Apparently there's a company that can do that, fairly affordable. I need a core to send them. I have that old Crane SSH 320 sitting on the bench where I like that cam. But if they can make me a better cam out of it, because it's pitted. I don't want to put it in the engine the way it is. It's rusty and pitted. If they can regrind it, make it into a 68 340 cam, or if they just exchange it as a core and grind me a 68 340 cam, that's where we'll go. But I wouldn't mind having SSH 320 reground the stock, because that was a nice cam. Definitely a nice piece. It's a vintage piece. But anyway, I'm babbling. Till next time, take care.